Audra, can you hear me? This is Michael.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, I don't. That's right. We're on Jen's phone, so I'm not sure how to mute it. So.
Yeah, no worries. We can't hear anything really in the background. You guys aren't talking though, so you're good. So I sent a similar text to this in the group me chat, and I wanted to reiterate kind of what I might have meant by this. And so I'm so excited, to share that we're only 56 events short from what we did last year, which is amazing. And I wanted to show you guys that, based off what we did last year, and we tend to have a ton of repeat, business and events. We're definitely going to surpass this number of 455 events last year from our team. So I'm really excited, and I've looked at all the numbers for the entire year, and not one month this year have we been under. So that was another, thing that stood out to me, that we've not only, kept up with what we did last year, but we've grown every single month except for in January. That was the only month that we had the exact same amount of events. And I don't know, January in certain months, it's just a tough month. It's cold in the majority of the months. And we hadn't gotten our Orlando team or most of our Florida team even up and running. And so no, I'm excited to see where that goes. But again, not one month has been under. So as you guys are, contacting events and tournaments, golf courses, I would have some of these things in mind. Of course, you're not going to expect to have 45 events for yourself, right off the bat, especially when people are new. But we're going to get really busy. And so that is amazing when trying to plan accordingly for October, November, and December. So let me know if you guys, again, need help at all with setting, realistic goals on what you should be striving to do. At first, if it's just you in an area, or if you are a rep in an area that already has, ATMs and TMs, how you can help to just grow to that next level for not only covering events, but then trying to bring on some of your own, because that is definitely my forte. I love calling and booking tournaments. So let me know how I can help. And so that everybody knows as well, I'm going to get on a strict schedule again where for sure one day during the week, but perhaps two. I'm gonna send those schedules out so that if anybody wants to get on my Zoom calls when I'm calling and speaking with tournaments, you guys can learn live. So I believe Morgan is almost finished with editing the videos that I have sent to her already from a lot of those recordings. But I do feel like it is just different when it's live, and with some of our programs kind of changing, that'll be important to, keep in mind for certain conversations too. So I'll get those out tonight after this call so that you guys can hopefully plan accordingly if you need some more help, with booking tournaments. But Michael French had mentioned that he was hoping to have some more help with editing super ticket flyers. And so I took a editable flyer that actually our insurance made, and my flyers are by no means the prettiest out there, but they definitely look better. And I feel bad if Brian Carr ever hears this from our insurance company. I feel a little bit bad, but it's definitely prettier than his. So if any of you guys are really good at editing, I'm sure Leslie and Morgan could whip up something, for you guys too. But I'm the type where I tend to wait last minute on these sort of things, and I wanted to make sure that I could get in, I could edit it myself. And with last minute changes, from the golf course or the tournament, us switching up holes, whatever it might be. So I'm going to go through how you not only edit a table flyer based off my own, formatting, and then how you would turn that into a mini super ticket in case, we have some people on the call that aren't as tech savvy. So again, I'm sure there are better ways to do this. There's probably other ways to make it look way more beautiful. Please send the entire team what you have done, if you've done any of this yourself, because we would love to make these look even better. But for tonight, let me go ahead and show you guys how I've done it so far. So this is my editable super ticket flyer, and I'll send these all out with the call recording so that you guys will have this exact one. I'm going to also send a PDF of this version because if we don't all have the same version of PowerPoint, some of these fonts are going to look different, or the formatting might be off. So just keep that in mind. So say, for example, we're going to use this because this is a pretty standard flyer, but say an event had 80 players. Well, right now, this flyer shows that we're giving out 4 different contest prizes. So outside of like the shootout scratch card game, but for tee boxes, it's showing that we are giving out prizes for both first and second closest to the pin contest winners, and men and women. So most events are going to be 100 players or less. And so what I would do is just come in here and, edit a couple pieces, because a lot of the times you're only going to be giving out 2 tee boxes instead of 4. Now, say an event doesn't want to sell it for $40 or $100. They want to sell it for 40, which is definitely standard with our company. We see that the most. Again, you'll just come up here and edit that, kind of move this around. You can even create little images behind it, like the little pop out sort of things like stars. So I'll include a couple extra ones for you guys as well. But I just wanted to show you a couple things. So I would take this logo off, and let's just say that they want to do a hole-in-one, so something other than the Super Bowl. So I would take this out, and I brought up a couple different ones. So I think that the next one that is super common, is Pebble Beach. Now, what I try to do when I type in, Pebble Beach logo just on Google, I click images. I'm usually trying to find a logo that, oh yes, perfect, has this background. So I know that it'll be, it won't be like a colored background, Again, I'm not the most tech savvy, so I don't know all the terms for these things. I just know that these work better. That one didn't work, so let's go over here. So I just copy that image, I don't save it, and I go back to my PowerPoint, and I'm going to put it here. So then you can make it smaller and make sure you fit it in between your writing, and that it's, down the middle. And then again, depending on your conversations with your super ticket, hosts, if you will, or the tournament directors, they might not have door prizes. That is something that I don't think is that common, nor do I think 20 raffle tickets is. Usually it's like 5 raffle tickets and 2 mulligans. So again, you'll just kind of have to go in here, make sure that it matches whatever you had planned with that event. And then let's say that it's for the fallen. So we want to take, I don't know, let's see if this one works okay. We want to take one of their logos. I love this logo, by the way. Oops, copy. And we're going to put it up here. So paste that there. Now see how there's so much extra white right here? What I do is I go to edit, maybe not, maybe go to format, crop, and then I just crop this down so that I can make sure that I have like the most amount of space on this flyer to fit in as much information as I possibly can. So you're going to crop this, and then I just click out of here and it saves it. So from there, I'll make this much smaller where it'll fit. Boom, I stick it right there. Now, I usually change the color of all this stuff depending on what their logo looks like. So you're gonna go to more colors, and you're gonna move this out of the way. And let's just say we wanna do this cool blue color. So I take this little dabber here, put it over this color that I want, hit OK, and boom. Now I go through and I just use that same exact color that's been saved for each one of these. So then everything kind of looks in sync. And some, I would probably honestly do like red and blue back and forth to kind of pull in that logo that much more, but you can play around with it, make it, look however you want, really. But I just wanted to show you guys a couple quick tips.
Do you give private lessons?
I'm like,
You
hey,
made it look so easy,
I had
sweetheart.
one response on my group chat today, so I'm like, this is what we're going with. Thank you for responding.
Michael, it's funny because I'm like, hey, Audra, please help me on this. Like, can you just whip this up? She does it like in 2 seconds, where I'm like hours later, I'm frustrated. But yeah,
Thank you, Nell.
so I'm there with you, Michael.
Okay, now
Good lessons. You guys are
I'm
fun.
still a tutor, so
Yay. Okay. And then, if something looks off, just kind of like mess around with it. So I might get rid of this line so that I can move this down lower to give that more room. And then voila. So I'm going to show you guys how I save this so I can make minis. So I'm going to save as, and forgive my OCD-ness. I'm going to warn you guys all now. So tournament flyers, boom. We're going to create a new, let's just do For the Fallen example. Create. And then this was our For the Fallen table sign. Okay. So you're going to save that as a PowerPoint. So then that way, again, if they edit anything, which is not uncommon, or you want to add like the whole numbers, whatever you want to add on here, you can. And then you're going to go to here and you're going to save as again, but as a PDF. So the reason you'll want to do that is so that when people come through and they purchase it, it's not necessary, but I like it. I hand them a mini. So then that way I just tell them like, hey, here's like your own, copy of all the different contests we have going on, what holes and what your prizes are. So you can be prepared, and make sure that you're ready for that when that long drive contest pops up, or straightest drive, close to the pin, whatever it is. So from there, you're going to go to new presentation. If your computer is like mine, it likes to give you this really big, I don't know, sheet, I guess, if you will. So you go to design and slide size, and you go back to standard. I don't know if it's just my computer that likes to mess with me, or if everybody's is like this, but you delete that information on there. And now you're going to insert that new PDF you just created. And don't worry, we're going to send this recording out in case you guys want to go back and reference this. So what I do is I add it one time, but I'm going to copy and paste it for a second version. And most PowerPoint should have this designer tool right here. It's going to automatically format it so it's, centered with both of these. And so you could always do 4 to a page. I like 2 to a page so that, anybody can read it, whether they have glasses or not. I feel like a half page is the perfect size. And then I would come in here and I would save this as your, mini.
You gotta get up and take your dad tomorrow, don't you?
What was that?
Sorry,
Okay.
I forgot about the mute.
I'm like, no worries. So, all in all, I feel like it isn't too complicated, but sometimes I even have a hard time, and where I will see like the hardest part would be right here, finding like that perfect image, or even for them. And so if you guys get stuck and you can't find an image that is has like a white background or whatever, just let us know and we'd be happy to help you, finalize your flyer. What we're trying to do is, again, like the more stuff you can do for your events that you get booked, the better. And we don't want to, put too much on like Morgan and Leslie or anybody, that might be creating these sort of things when this is pretty easily, thrown together. But if you want it to look more beautiful than this, then definitely write them, just give them, say a week or two before your event, and I'm sure they will come up with something much prettier than this. So going back, does anybody have any questions on what I just showed you at all?
Audra, I think those look fantastic, and everybody loves them because it gives them a list of everything that's going on. One of the things I like adding is the whole number if you have it at the time that you create it. So that always helps a lot.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I like it too for me, because then that way I might need that reminder on, oh gosh, like what hole do we need to make sure we grab that marker from at the end of the day, So it does end up helping you later on. Outside of that, I just had like a couple quick, thoughts to kind of like jot down and wanted to go over with you guys. One of the things would definitely be Veterans Day. Veterans Day, it sounds like it's a long time away, but what are we, like 5 or 6 weeks away at this point? And sorry, Jay's calling me on a call. And so usually we're spread really, really thin. So make sure you guys get with us, now. So then that way we can, help see where, like, how many people we have available to cover. And we can plan accordingly so that we don't accidentally, overbook ourselves, especially for California and Florida. But I'm sure Oahu, we're gonna need to start recruiting here pretty soon, because I feel like all those courses are gonna say yes and want you guys out there for Veterans Day. So outside of that too, I mean, you guys just saw September through November are definitely some of California's biggest months of the year. So if you guys can consistently let Noelani know in California what kind of schedule she can use you for per week, and if you just maybe out of habit or set an alarm or something, letting her know Sunday or Monday of every week, hey, I know for sure this upcoming weekend I'll be available Friday through Sunday, or hey, I'm so sorry I can only cover Sunday this weekend. But if you get into that habit, so we're not chasing people down, and that gives us enough time to call all the different courses and golf tournaments coming up, that would help us a ton. And then for, Florida, Palm Springs, Arizona, Nevada, our busy season is almost here. So I don't know how far off I am saying mid-October. I really think that like November for sure, November through like April or May will be our busy season, but it is currently pouring right now in Florida, and it's already started to cool off a little bit. And I've been hearing about some weird weather in California too, with it being a little bit chillier. So our busy season's almost here. So make sure that that if you need help, getting yourself organized in your own business, you can schedule tournament calls with me, or, one of your managers, course visits. You want to make sure you're restocking your supplies, and that's including demo drivers, tents, those sort of things. But I would make sure that you're ready now, so that when you're in the midst of everything, you're not running around nearly as much. And then if you need any support on any program, like no question is a dumb question ever. I feel like we have a ton of different ways to make money and a ton of programs, and we want to help. So let us know how we can support you. But the last piece I would really want to go over without touching on it too much is let us know if you need help organizing, your income for the end of the year. And I would start now with at least what you're making and like what you've, fundraise out on the golf course for an event. And I would start now, like, do not wait. So then that way we can help you come tax time. But was there anything that anybody on the team had, questions for or wanted me to cover so I could help? Or do any of our TMs have anything they want to add at all?
I think this was great, Audra. Thank you so much for doing this. This was fantastic. You do make it look very easy. And I think the different programs, what was the program that you used for this? Was just a PDF program, or
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint?
Yeah.
So anyone who has PowerPoint with their Microsoft Office programs, 365 or whatever, that would be where that is. And just make sure you have that with your email or your programs that you have on your computer. And then
yeah, and you can also, to add on that really fast, you can also use Canva for free. So there is like a free account that you can set up for Canva, and you could basically do the same thing.
And that is Canva, right?
Yep,
Canva.
Canva.com.
Yeah. So that's a good one too.
Also, the office.
Other thing is,
thank you, Mark. Yeah.
What was the other one, Mark?
The office.
Okay. I think that's it. Like this was short and sweet. Thank you.
Yeah,
Could I ask real quickly about the tea boxes,
yes.
the gifts that we give away?
Yeah. What's your question?
Yeah, real quick. Do they come with a super ticket, or they just give out a certificate for them?
So I despise certificates. I understand the for drivers, because we have to custom build them, but I hate handing a T-box certificate out. So what I do personally is I just email prizes and I CC admin and let them know that, hey, I have, say you have like 3 super tickets coming up or 1 super ticket coming up. Hey, I have a super ticket coming up. I want to get, anywhere from 1 to 8 T-boxes to prepare for like this bigger season coming up. Can you send them to my house so I'm like ready for that? And Amanda will send them to you so that way you already have them on hand, because she is one of the few that agrees with me that she likes handing somebody, something physical rather than a certificate that we have to then input and ship out to them and stuff like that.
And then our sports passes, are they Brad sport passes in the T boxes?
So they used to be the sports passes. I need to double check and see what I have in the garage right now. I think that when I ordered mine, those might still have them, but they're supposed to have the elite savings passes in them.
Okay. And the caps that are in them, have they changed, or they're the same?
I believe they're the same. I've been looking at different companies to swap out some of the products with, but they've been really wanting to use like what we have and what we paid for first before swapping out any items. But
Okay.
we've brought up using Subtle Patriot and some of their items. And then I just met with a company called Swig that makes a couple water bottles I've given out at different tournaments that I hosted too, like one for my birthday. And it looks like it's like a golf ball imprint all down it. So they have like a whole line for just golf water bottles that I thought was really cool. So,
I've got 10 dozen hero program caps, red,
okay,
white,
nice.
blue. If anybody's interested, I'll give them to you, or sell them to you at my price, which is $15 a cap.
And
logo,
you guys
everything.
know, Michael has the best swag. He really does.
Christine, can they take that fucking thing off your ear?
And then a little of the white in the middle.
I want 4 of those, Michael, if that's okay.
Just send me an order. I'll get them off to you. You just
Okay.
have to. The only thing is, you pay my cost, but just pay for the shipping. I'm really happy. Okay.
Does
No
anybody else
problem.
have any other questions about either super tickets or just anything EFS related at all?
What's that Maui thing? That Maui thing that came out? Hold on. I think I'm muted. No, I'm not. The Maui email that I got for the fundraiser online.
Mm-hmm.
Have we gone over, and I just missed it, have we gone over how to set that up?
Yeah, so you would just contact your hero courses to get approval. So then that way we can edit the flyer to be posted all over like that golf course, maybe in like their pro shop or bathrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you can always have it printed just to be put on like your table. So reach out to either Leslie or Morgan. I usually just send every email to the 2 of them. That way they can see whoever has like, the most amount of time to get the flyer done. And they'll edit it for you so that you can raise money for Maui from anywhere.
Okay, yeah, because I just wondered how we got one with our own QR code on it.
Yeah. So they can help you make sure that they get that done ASAP for you.
Okay, thanks. That was it for me.
Yeah, of course.
Audra, I know we talked about the demo days, and Leslie was putting together some campaign stuff for us. Is that in the CRM somewhere?
If it is done, it would be on the CRM. I know that Morgan was making some changes to the CRM. So if you guys haven't been into like the downloads lately, I would go check it out. It has all of like the banquet flyers and those sort of things on there. But Leslie was creating a flyer for demo days for Bear Creek, I believe. So there should be something on there, but I'll double check. And if it is, I will, I'm gonna write that down to attach it to this recording as well.
Okay, perfect. I see one for Bryson. And
Oh,
it does say demo day.
Okay. I would assume though that they probably need to be editable. Or
okay,
either for you to
Yeah.
edit or to have them edit. So then that way people know when to expect you, at that golf course. And they can
Yeah.
plan for it or, contact the pro shop or you to set up like an appointment time. So if you
Okay.
want one edited for the crank demo days, definitely reach out to Leslie and Morgan for that too.
okay. So Mark and I will get on that. Jason, you too.
Audra,
Yeah.
so what is the correct avenue to get quick response for, say you meet someone on the course that says, yeah, I won that Cancun trip, 3 weeks ago, 2 months ago, and I've never heard from them. Like, I just have the one gentleman who, was, hearing impaired, and he and his wife, they were under the impression, or they told them that they wouldn't be able to go because they were hearing impaired. So, this has been like an ongoing thing, trying to, reach out. Like, what is the quickest and most efficient way to handle someone who says they didn't get a call?
I would always go and like let your manager know, first. And
Yeah,
then collectively, like between the two of you, I would email prizes at elitefundraisingsolutions.com.
That Morgan?
Yes, Morgan covers that inbox, and then she will connect that person with Magali, and Magali has actually been amazing as far as like if there's any sort of issue, she makes sure that she calls them personally and then makes sure that that person gets connected with a phone call and more information from Cancun. She's been all over that kind of stuff, but it has to be brought up to like Morgan for Morgan to then connect Magali.
Yeah, so because I've got like more than 3 people that I've run across, that have said they didn't get calls. And so I get their information again. Like last time I just put them on the job form with another, job form I was putting in, and I made a note at the bottom to say, these are ones that didn't get calls. And they got kicked back to me saying like, like they can't be entered in with, they can't get entered in with, they have to be on their own. And I'm like, well, that's already gonna come and gone, like I can't.
Well, they can't be entered in twice, is what they're saying. They can only be entered on a job form once. The email system that Audra's saying, where you go through Morgan prizes actually is how you reach out to them. But I would CC myself if I were you, because I'm your TM, and I would help.
That way we can help you
facilitate that along.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. So there are a few people that just don't either pick up their phone or there's, the wrong information. So just email and CC me on it.
Well, how long is it a reasonable amount of time to wait for that to get resolved?
So they're supposed to have a welcome call within 7 days, and then an email and or text within 72 hours of it being submitted. So whenever, say you after an event submit it, say it took you more than 24 hours, then that would be like the start time. But if you're having issues, it really depends on whenever you connected that person, or let us know through prizes at Elite Fundraising Solutions. But Magali's usually all over that. She does not mess around with like people not getting contacted. She doesn't want anybody to have like a bad view on Cancun or the trips or anything. So as soon as she's connected, which should be within like 24 hours of you emailing prizes, she'll be all over it. And then keep in mind guys too, if the people aren't answering, we can only do so much. So I tell everybody on the course, I don't know if you guys do this too, but I let them know that, hey, when you get that call from Cancun, it will most likely come up as spam. But at the bottom, you know how it usually still gives you some information about your spam caller? It'll be a Mexico phone number and it'll say Mexico.
Oh, I know. I tell
So
them that. Tell them.
I usually tell them like, hey,
About to piss that dude off.
go ahead and make sure you pick that up, you know?
Make him mad.
Yeah, I know. I do all. I tell them that. I'm just thinking. There's like these are people that for 3 months or 2 months or 6 weeks or whatever, you know, like haven't either got the call, and I tell them I'll follow up on it.
When
And then
when did you email prizes?
It hasn't.
Noe, did you email prizes about the Kenneth, the guy that was hearing impaired?
You mean the
I remember seeing an email
one
for
that
that.
we just talked about like 2 hours ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you?
So,
Yeah.
is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that
Um,
particular one, just in this case.
I actually emailed and text messaged Amanda. The only reason why I did that, and I'm not telling anyone to do this. The
Yeah.
only reason I did that
And I'll
is
have a heart
because
attack.
in the group me, yeah. Amanda, if you're on this call, I'm sorry, or if you listen to it. The only reason why I did that is because on the group me chat, she said she would look into it and take care of it. That's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Any other time, you need to be reaching out to me or Audra or to Michael French, whoever is your TM.
And we're all good about CCing everybody. So like we want you to be in the
Right.
loop because you're the one that's going to see him out there, but we want to be in the loop so we can make sure that it gets done.
Right. And so
Yeah,
if I'm
that's
not
all.
being notified about it, I can't do anything about it. Last week, I know Magali took care of at least 2 people just last week for me. The week before that, I know she took care of at least 1 for me.
Mhm.
While I was in Kentucky, she was taking care of some of these issues that, have come up because an email's wrong, or they don't write it clearly, or the phone
Yeah.
number's wrong, or even the name. Like a guy got entered in as Brenda instead of Brandon. Like leave an N in your gender changing them, and it's not on purpose, it just is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like those things
happens.
happen. So that just happened today. Okay, so I'm working on it. This isn't anything that isn't new for me, but if I don't know, I can't help you.
Yeah,
Okay?
and we'll make sure that we follow up on this issue after the call.
Good. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Does anybody else have anything else or any other topics that we could help with? I'm just making a list so I can make sure I cover it all in an email after.
I'd like to know, how's the solar thing going? I had
DA 52 East.
Tanner going out with me on last week.
I heard you kicked some butt out there. How did it go for you?
Got a lot of names, but I don't know if it translated to anything. I don't know. I'll find out maybe in about 6 months.
Okay. I'm like, 6 months is a long time. Is that what he said?
No, I don't know, sweetheart. I'm just
Okay.
I was being facetious, but
I know nothing.
I had a
don't
feeling,
know.
but I was like,
I know you and Terry are like our hero
guinea pigs.
For
So,
what?
well, you
Our solar hero guinea pigs.
yeah, you guys have been, and you guys killed it. So we're
I
gonna
thought I
learn
got
from
2
you.
on that day. I thought I got 2 with my uncle and aunt, and they both fell through. I was like, dang.
Well, you got 3 that day, Terry. You got 3.
Oh,
There's
right.
another one still working. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, thank God.
But
Okay.
yeah,
well, hopefully
Michael,
it
as
works
far
out.
as I know, you and Terry have been the only ones that have had him go out there with you guys yet. And keep in mind, that's why we wanted to host that training. You don't have to have Tanner out there with you guys in order to gather leads, because even in his own pitch that he was teaching, Terry, you don't have to have any information. If they just write down their information, it's going to end up helping out the hero program with fundraising. And then all they have to do is have a phone call to see if he can beat their prices. It's, It's nothing complicated. It's just something that you can offer if it fits into your pitch and you guys want to try it out and see if anything comes of it, you know?
I did it after Tanner left, and it was easy, as a matter of fact. You just do it after you receive the donation. But I will never, ever, ever let people write on lists again, because this is what it looks like, if you could see that. I couldn't read any of them. Tanner could read them, I guess, but I write everything myself. It takes a second, but I ask them, their name and spell it for me, whatever. I can't read half the things that people write. It's crazy.
I know my own doctor's writing, but I don't know anybody else's. So I just write my own. I write everyone's stuff.
I was trying to see if I had my list from this weekend too. I was so excited, you guys. I sat on a hole-in-one hole for a tournament that only had a super ticket, but because they are such a big organization for us, they're giving us events in like all over the country. They're in 26 states. And so I was like, you know what? I will watch the hole-in-one hole and I won't fundraise out here all day. It'll be great. And I kept picking my brain. I'm like, how can I make this beneficial? And so I gave anybody that either handed me a business card, a tournament lead, or like, wrote down their contact info to get me in touch with tournament leads later on. They got a raffle ticket to win a Cancun trip. And so I got like approval that I was giving out one of them, and I ended up with 52 leads. So I was so excited. I felt like, oh my gosh, we might be buried in Central Florida really fast if I hit up all of these immediately. So I'm really excited. But again, like we have programs that work, that we've had, with the company forever, but don't feel like you guys can't go outside of, like that box by any means. Just make sure you get it approved, and we would love to see what else we can do to either get you more tournament leads or, fundraise at, I know Texas was the first one to start fundraising at Walmarts and Home Depots, and at expos as well. They've been doing that a ton. So let us know what your ideas are, and we'll just let you know if like, hey, we've had people try that out and it didn't work out very well, or like, oh my gosh, yeah, we totally support that. Let us know how it goes,
I talked to Jay about raffling off a Cancun trip, because I have a lot of, I've been with the company for so long. I have a lot of the crank-it holes that are 50%, and I know we don't do that anymore, but they're grandfathered in. I can't cut the people off now. It's impossible. They won't do anything otherwise. So I did give away a Cancun trip, and it was great. And then I wound up raffling one off anyway. So auction one off too. So it was fun. It worked out really well.
Yeah.
It's a good way to incentivize people to donate when you're not giving anything out. You're not giving away a club or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and I think that people will donate too, even if you only give out the one. It's exciting. Most people think it's a raffle for one anyway. So I think that the company would be fine if you gave out one. I think where we get in trouble is when it's 50% cash on the crank it hole and we give out 32 trips, and they're like, oh my God, we're upside down. But anybody else have any questions? Any of the newbies maybe? Some of this might sound like Chinese to you guys, so just let me know if you want me to go over anything like one-on-one. Otherwise, I'm like, I think we might be good for the night. Everybody gets to get off a little bit early. All right, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. What was that?
I said, yeah.
Audra, I already got a text back from Amanda. She's going to have Terry have Kenneth call her. So
Okay, good.
He cannot call her. He's hearing impaired.
Let's talk about this offline. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
And, your diet.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Audrey.
Bye.